I stood in the center of our living room, the note in my hand trembling slightly, though not from shock, more from the sheer audacity of her parting words. Thanks for the money. I'm starting over with my boyfriend. Good luck starting from scratch. The handwriting was unmistakably hers. Sharp, slanted, carelessly elegant, like a dagger dipped in perfume. She hadn't just left me. She had choreographed her exit like a final act on stage, curtain call and all. The bag I handed her the night before, glossy black leather, weighty, serious, was gone. So was she. Her phone lines were dead. Her location wiped clean, not even a breadcrumb left behind. A vanishing act worthy of applause. But I didn't panic. I didn't curse or tear the place apart. I laughed, because the joke, though cruel, was on her. The bag she had run off with, believing it to be a fortune, was as empty as the promises she once made. I met Claire 5 years ago at a rooftop fundraiser that reeked of vintage wine, overpriced cologne, and polished ambition. She floated through that world like she owned it. Perfect teeth, bare shoulders, eyes that locked onto yours with unwavering charm, and laughter that always came half a beat too late, like she was analyzing your worth instead of enjoying the moment. I should have known then, but I was arrogant, inflated by my own success. I thought I was the smartest man in every room, including the one she walked into. 2 years later, we were married. I gave her everything she never asked for but gladly accepted. A penthouse in Midtown, a chauffeured car, platinum cards without spending limits or prying questions. She slid into the role with a grace that made deception look like high art. Dinners with investors, gala appearances, silk evening gowns that caught every flashbulb, and hands that always knew just when to rest on my arm to complete the illusion of devotion. I mistook all of it for love. But it was strategy, refined and weaponized. The cracks began to show in small, almost invisible ways. Her phone began living face down on every table. She developed an obsession with late-night Pilates classes and whispered laughter behind closed doors, laughter that died the moment I entered. And then there was a scent, earthy, sharp, masculine, lingering on her skin, never matching the perfumes I had gifted her over the years. I didn't confront her. Not then, because some betrayals deserve more than outrage. They deserve orchestration. And I had time. So I waited. I smiled. I played dumb while quietly moving the pieces into place. 3 months ago, the truth arrived wrapped in high-resolution surveillance and expense reports. A private investigator handed me footage. Her and a man entering a penthouse I didn't know she leased. Him I recognized. A former employee I'd fired for embezzling client funds. A small-time crook with grand illusions. They deserved each other. I didn't rage. I planned. I began unraveling the foundation she thought was hers. Every joint account was bled dry. Funds rerouted into offshore holdings with no paper trail. Her access to the penthouse was revoked through a digital sweep of keycard permissions. The deed itself? Transferred to a trust buried under 3 shell corporations. Every legal move, invisible and irreversible. I even fabricated a ledger, a masterstroke of deceit, that showed a fictional $10 million offshore windfall. I needed her to believe the lie, to chase it. The final act was the bag. I had it custom-made from the same leather used by South American cartel mules. Heavy, textured, authentic. I filled it with shredded newspaper and counterfeit currency bands. Inside, a thumb drive with a single document. A supposed wire transfer to a Cayman account open in her name. An account that never existed. It looked real. Too real. Just enough bait. The night before she disappeared, I came home late. My tie was loose, my suit wrinkled, my exhaustion performed. She was on the balcony, sipping wine, wearing a robe that slipped just enough to feign warmth. I set the bag on the counter, like I was placing a crown. "I need you to do something for me," I said. "Just for tonight. It's too risky at the office." Her eyes gleamed the moment they met the bag. "What's in it?" 10 million reasons not to ask questions," I said with a tired smirk. She kissed me good night like she meant it, like she thought she'd won. By dawn, both she and the bag had vanished. The note was taped to the espresso machine, her final flourish. But she had no idea that I had scrubbed the building security footage. that her flight to Rio was booked under a name already flagged by Interpol. The man she ran off with, already under quiet investigation for crypto fraud. The currency in that bag, fake, traceable, and rigged with a GPS chip sewn into the lining. I didn't call the police. I called the bank tied to her Phantom Cayman account and froze everything before she could even log in. They made it as far as Cartagena before Colombian authorities apprehended them. Apparently, even fake millions can buy you real jail time in the right country. An old contact at Interpol sent me the arrest footage. I watched her face as the officers closed in. First disbelief, then fury, and finally that smirk she used to give me whenever she thought she had the upper hand. But this time it broke. She screamed, fought Claude. He tried to flee. Both were in cuffs before they reached the hotel lobby. I leaked the footage, just enough to ripple through the right circles. Our circles, investors, socialites, journalists hungry for scandal. By sundown, Claire was infamous, a cautionary tale dressed in couture. Headlines branded her a thief, a fraud, a failed Bonnie who never quite found her Clyde. The penthouse was sold quietly to a tech CEO. The paper trail buried under a half-dozen fake names and one anonymous tip. No one ever traced it back to me. Sometimes, I still catch glimpses of her on magazine covers, in grainy news articles, or in flickering shadows on Fifth Avenue. But I don't miss her. Not anymore. She thought she had stolen $10 million. What she took was a carefully wrapped illusion, a trap dressed as a gift. And I gave it to her with a steady hand and a clear conscience. Because betrayal, the kind that cuts deep, only works once. The second time, it becomes strategy. She taught me that. And I made sure she learned what it feels like to be outplayed.